Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing something a little specific, and it's kind of been just in the run of things since I started doing this and ever since I got back. There have been quite a few questions popping up here and there around the channel about Township, and not specifically the game, and it's kind of just direct questions towards me or things that people have asked me and I never really got to, and I was thinking, you know what? I feel like maybe I should answer a few, if it so pleases. Some of them might be the same, but we'll come across a few that are probably different, but ultimately a few of them will be the same. So we'll see how this goes. So by this point in the game, obviously, we are at the point of reaching almost 100 episodes. We are at 94 currently. I'm uploading this video here, but I finally wanted to start answering some of the questions that you might have. And obviously, we're going to start from the very beginning. And if you mates weren't too aware of some of the things that have already happened, episode 1 was let's say it was definitely something else. So the comments we're going to look at first are from the first episode of the series, which was 3 years ago now. It's crazy to see that, and it's at 50k. Dang, this episode's really gone a long way. I don't know if I made too many impressions. I know I got a lot of people, but I think it was mainly because of the quest release. But I don't know if too many people stuck around after that. But I have them sorted by the newest, and most of them are from a year ago. But I did reply to some mates, so what did I say to this? Watching this makes me want to play Township, but I have a super bad control drift. Yeah. I wonder if you ever got that fixed. Oh, this is a cute one by Gavin here. I don't know if he's been on streams or not. This is the best vid on the series I've ever seen in this game. As much as I appreciate the comment, I feel like I put a little bit more work into the more recent stuff, but I appreciate that. Obviously, we do get the comments that a lot of people want to see the channel grow more, and I appreciate all those. Here's a few of them, because I'm glad that people see that. I've been told somewhat on other platforms that I seem generic. And you know, I genuinely believe that, because I'm not explosive like some other people, especially when it comes to VTube style stuff, or if it comes to any hyperactive games. Although Blade and Sorcery recently was Are these valuable in any way? Because I'm just going to use them as punchables then. Nope. Alright, I'm going to smash some heads with that. Smashing. Ooh, chair. Ali. That was something. Let's just see this one. I wasn't thinking about this. This is on episode 4 of Township. And this mate is right. It's been a minute since I really looked into some of this stuff, but it is true most of it is tutorial stuff. Because I'm trying to make something genuinely different on a TTT besides just showing tutorials and stuff. Obviously, I have posted some tutorial stuff for how-tos and some things that you might not know about the game. But ultimately, I really try to get something new out of the game. Try to pick as much as I can. Obviously, at this point, it seems like I'm the only person who ever uploads about the game anymore these days. I think there are a few more people still. Obviously, Quest players and maybe a couple of PC players. I know there was a new mate, Obi... what was his name? This was the mate right here. Obi-Wan Pioji. I remember he started uploading some stuff pretty much recently. It looks like the last thing he posted was 3 weeks ago. He's on the Quest version, of course, but it seems like he kicked up quite a bit for what he's on. And it's really cool to see that some people even look at this mate. We're gonna have to do another Township video creators episode again, because I like doing the last one, so I think I want to try to do this one again. But I do consider checking them out if you played the Quest version, because it might help you out a lot. But yet again, like, I don't know if these titles, Crafting Flashlight and Spyglass on Quest, I don't know if it's particularly a tutorial or if he's just doing that as his own little adventure. Because that's what I try to do when it comes to those. That's what the solo series was. It was mainly just me on my own trying to beat the entire game, but processes still required me to craft the generic stuff, and you might have to see how it was done. So that was kind of the process, but I'm not sure. I haven't really watched anything from him, but given the chance that you mate's good, definitely go check that out. This is a fun comment. Crispy Bread VR. I feel like I may have seen this mate before. I was expecting a 6-year-old playing through it horribly, but instead found my new... Oh, wow, I didn't read that part. I appreciate that a little, mate. Reminds me a lot of Nano. Now that's a person I don't know. could be that it's not actually a ATT creator, it's just another person, but it could be anybody. This one looks like an actual genuine game question. How do you know which tree is what, and how do you know what you need to use to cut it down? Obviously this was 2 years ago, so they probably already found the answer, but for those mates who are just getting into Township, you can tell by the textures. The trees do look different, some of them darker, some of them lighter, and usually you end up getting yourself familiar with oak trees pretty commonly. They're the more often ones in Township. They're everywhere, and then sometimes you come across a couple of birch trees in the beginning. But of course on Quest you can't really do that, because at this moment of this episode the forest hasn't existed yet. That's in the current state of things how it is. Now I have the episode up here, I'm sure you might see it. Crystal Carrier. I actually meant to call that Crystal Courier, but that one we went on a whole journey trying to get crystals for the first time, and I was wondering if there was any questions that come out of that. Oh, the layout for crystals. I believe they start at 20. I haven't been too familiar on it even to this point, 4+ years in by this point, of what layer is for crystals, because I don't know, I don't really focus on the layers when I keep going down. Ultimately it gets probably around level 8, I presume, level 8 and below, so they show up pretty quick. This question by Cristina Segundo, I think I remember that name. How do you make the flashlight? I'm pretty sure somewhere out there there's a tutorial for it. You can find it, probably just search up the flashlight and then you can make it. This one kind of confused me. Thank you for subscribing, mate. Much appreciated. Skittle Master Grim, Silver and Mithril for Valiant, Blue and Blue for Purple. What did you say to me? I'm lost. What did you say to me? I'm so confused. I saw this some time back and I was just like, what the? What? Yeah, silver, mithril for Valiant, blue and blue for purple. What? That doesn't make any sense. Is he talking about because silver kind of has that blue tint to it and mithril is blue? I'm starting to think that might be what it was. But who's to say? Now in some cases, some of you mates already know about this one. I absolutely did, and I think still to this point it's probably one of the highest watched videos on my side of things. But it's the making the hoarders back. Now clearly that title right off the bat gives the concept of tutorial, but it's not. Well, I guess it's 50-50, because it kind of shows you how to make the hoarders back, but simultaneously it was just for me. So I'm bound to see a lot of comments in this. Oh, this is a nice comment. I can see this. This is so relaxing to watch. I appreciate that, Claudia. I really do. 2 years ago it was. Although I can't say I was very relaxed during that recording, especially with that happening. But besides the point, we made it through regardless. Oh yeah, my Mastering Archery series. This one wasn't one of the highest, but I enjoyed doing it because it was the first time I actually started doing archery in the game. And I genuinely think it was a fun experience to try that out for once, because well, it was fun. There was a lot of things happening during those episodes that started to show signs for the game. How the heck does he kill 1 worm, 4 deer, and get 3 leather rolls? I got an answer for you. PC Township Tale. To some of you that's not actually going to be a logical answer because you probably use PC for Township, but my answer to you? I don't know. Working with modes to build the wakizashi. If you mates didn't know, some time back I got the answers wrong about what weapon I was making in the video, and I switched the name of the wakizashi and the katana during the recording, and I screwed up absolutely hard because I had to look it up, and it turns out the katana is a 2-handed weapon and the wakizashi is the 1-handed. But I didn't know that around the time of the upload, so we can not talk about it anymore. Your voice makes me sleepy. Well, call me Jigglypuff. Yep, and just a slip-in series of comments telling me that I'm wrong. But it's perfectly fine because, yeah, I caught that one right too late for that. So here's a comment, are you going to play on that server more? So what he's talking about is there was a server that he joined some time ago called The Overgrowth. The Overgrowth was a very neat server that I got to test out, got to see, got to look around in. It was actually a pretty active server around the time. The mates who were operating it and working with it actually built it up to make it look like a larger forest. There were trees everywhere, they had their building setups, interesting mine. They actually did something with the mine house and they just made it look very different than a vanilla map. I got to walk around with a mate who knew his way around, and I also learned of a very cool voodoo spot, which if your mates did watch the voodoo mod for the game, which actually comes right after this is where I did it in, and I don't think it's the same anymore. They actually moved it closer to spawn, but as far as I'm aware, the server has not been very lively since then. From this point, it's still dead, not operated, and for the most part the Overgrowth server is more operated on the Quest version rather than PC, because PC is still too kind of broken for things to happen. Quest is a simpler form and you can still kind of do the same things. I would recommend, if you guys get any ideas for that, if you start your own servers, definitely start messing with it, because you require prefab in order to do so, and I forget how to do it, but maybe I can leave it in the description for this. I really recommend it if you do enjoy altering the scenic route or anything like that. This is a good chunk right here. But I added the Voodoo mod for Township. I wasn't the only one who uploaded episodes for the Voodoo mod on Township, but I have mentioned this multiple times to people, talking about the fact that if you search up Voodoo Township Tale on Google, my video gets recommended on that, and it was really awesome to see that. Yo, how do I get armor for my server? You don't. Armor's not a thing anymore. I don't know what it was. I never actually did anything on Township when there was armor around. I actually joined up probably a few updates after it was gone. Actually, the first episode that I ever uploaded was on the same day that I recorded it. So the upload date from that first episode was also the first day I ever played Township, and I'm glad to have that stamp, because that's all I was ever working on when those episodes went up. I did not expect this to take off like I did, but this was crazy. But if your mates ever want to see anything about Voodoo or how it works, because it's kind of not around anymore, there are some specifications that the creator of the mod actually stated. I would recommend checking out the Voodoo server on Discord if you so wish, because there might be some ways of getting Voodoo back. But I'm going to have to hold off on that for now. We have basically almost reached 20 episodes, but the 20th episode is a part 1 to a part 2 thing that I did, and I wouldn't want to just split them up in episodes like that. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm just going to leave it off here for you mates to decide whether you want to see more of what I'm talking about. If you have any questions for me, leave them in the comments of this episode. I would love to read them. I love to see questions of anything Township related, any game relations. I don't think I would answer too much of personal life things, so just keep it down to the minimum of the game and just something generic. But that is the end of this little questionnaire for Township players thing. If you mates enjoyed that, do consider becoming part of the channel. I would really recommend it if you did so. I'd appreciate it a lot if you did, because it helps me grow and make more episodes like this and other Township videos such as the ones I had shown. But on top of it, you can become a member as well, which means you have access to custom emojis, get more involved in future episodes, and get your name featured at the beginning of episodes like it does in this one. I really recommend that you mates join this channel. I would appreciate it a lot if you did. If there's any other games out there that you think I would enjoy or would be enjoyable to watch that isn't on the list of things that are kind of very well overplayed by many people, then I'll consider checking it out. But remember to leave your questions in the comments. I would appreciate it a lot if you did so. I think if we could get 50 likes on this video, then we'll continue making another one. But until then, I'll leave it here. So thank you mates. I'll see you next time on something else. I hope you mates have a good day, and goodbye.